Today we're going to make sure that we can count some basic rhythms. So when we talk about rhythm, rhythm describes the flow of a piece of music as determined by the length of the notes and the distances between them. So for example, if you have a note that lasts for 2 seconds, and then it's followed by 2 notes that last for 1 second each, you're going to get this. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now that rhythm is distinct from if we just had 4 notes that all last for 1 second, like 2, 3, 4. So that's rhythm. Those are 2 different rhythms there. Before we go into any specific examples, before we can understand and count the rhythms of a piece of music, we have to check the time signature. So I'm going to have a few examples here on the screen. There's a variety of time signatures. They have slightly different effects, but broadly they all work in the same way. And we're going to focus on mainly just one of them, 4/4, today, because 4/4 is so common, it's actually known as common time. And if you get to grips with 4/4, that gives you like a really good sort of foundation for understanding all the other time signatures. So let me talk you through exactly what a time signature is. You will have a time signature at the start of every piece of music. And the time signature is 2 numbers, and it tells you 2 things. The top number tells you the number of beats that are in the bar. Or if you want, the number of counts. That's a slightly simpler way of thinking about it. So if the top number is 4, you're going to be counting 1, 2, 3, 4. If the top number is 3, you'll count up to 3. 2, you count up to 2, etc. That's pretty straightforward. The bottom number actually just tells you the type of beat that the piece of music is using. You don't have to worry about that too much right now. That becomes a bit more relevant later on, but just try to remember that 4/4, the bottom number 4, simply represents a crotchet or quarter note. Now, if you're not sure what a crotchet or quarter note is, don't worry, because I'm actually going to be explaining that in this video. Maybe I'll circle around a bit. But yeah, so 4/4, we have 4 beats in a bar, and every single beat represents 1 crotchet. Okay, let's move on to our first note. The first note we have here is called a semibreve, or you might know it as a whole note, depending where you are in the world. And a semibreve lasts for 4 crotchet beats. So in 4/4, it lasts for 4 counts, and it takes up a whole bar. So if we have a series of semibreves, they're going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's a semibreve. Our next note is a minim. Minims are worth exactly half the amount that a semibreve is worth. So whereas a semibreve is worth 4 beats, a minim is worth 2 beats. That means we can fit 2 minims into each bar in 4/4. So if I have a sequence of minims, they're going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so notice how the first minim takes up beats 1 and 2, and the next minim takes up beats 3 and 4, and then we go back to 1, and it starts again. Now we come to the crotchet. So a crotchet is a very, very simple note. It lasts for 1 beat. So if we have a sequence of crotchets, the first beat is on the first crotchet is on the first beat, the second crotchet is on the second beat, third crotchet is on the third beat, fourth crotchet is on the fourth beat. You know, you can see a pattern. It's pretty straightforward. So a sequence of crotchets: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So as I mentioned earlier, circling back a little bit, in 4/4, the bottom number is 4. They represent crotchets. These are crotchets that we're playing now, so it ties in together. The time signature is saying we can fit 4 crotchets into a bar, and here are our crotchets. There's 4 of them in a bar. Later on, the bottom number in a time signature can change, and then you get stuff like, If the bottom number was 2, that represents minims, and then you can actually fit 2 crotchets into a minim, so then in every single count you can actually fit 2 crotchets. But I won't go into that now. I just want you to be aware that time signatures do change. It's not going to be complicated. When you get to it, it'll be fine. But for the moment, let's just use 4/4 and say that every single beat is a crotchet. That's going to get you quite a long way. All right, let's do a little demonstration. So let's start mixing up with those different types of notes: semibreves, minims, and crotchets. I've got a little rhythm here. We start with a semibreve. That's going to take up a whole bar by itself. Then we have a couple of minims in the next bar. The third bar has 4 crotchets, 1 on each beat, and the last bar has another semibreve. So this is going to go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that was just a combination of the things we've done previously. Now that we've had like a little bit of practice there, I just want to add in one more note because it's really, really common in the sort of like beginner stages of learning rhythm, and that's the dotted minim. It's no more complicated than the others. A dotted minim is just worth 3 beats. So a minim is worth 2 beats, a dotted minim is worth 3 beats. The reason I held it back a bit is because, unlike the others, you actually can't fit 2 dotted minims into a single bar in 4/4. There isn't space. You have 1 dotted minim that will take up 3 beats, and then you've got 1 beat left over. So what you might see is a piece of music that's actually in 3/4. So that means 3 beats in a bar. So if we have a series of dotted minims in 3/4, that's going to go like this: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, if you encounter them in 4/4, as I said, they don't fill up the bar. So you will often see them mixed with another note, a crotchet. So you'll have a dotted minim worth 3 beats, followed by a crotchet worth 1 beat, added together, that's 4. So that fills up the bar. So if you have a sequence of those, you're going to have, you'll probably get something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're starting to mix up notes a little bit in individual bars. That brings me to the next little demonstration. I've got another short sequence here. This one, we do have a variety of notes in individual bars. So the first bar has a dotted minim and a crotchet, just like we just did. The next bar has a normal minim followed by 2 crotchets, then dotted minim, crotchet, and then we end on a semibreve. So this is going to sound like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, the time has come. I'm going to put 3 exercises on the screen, and you're probably going to want to pause the video here. I'll pause for like a few seconds, but yeah, take a look at these, pause the video, have a go at them, and then in a moment I'll play through them and you can see if you got them right. Okay, I am going to play the first one. All right, first one, we're in 4/4, and it goes like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. By the way, you can do these slower. That's perfectly fine. Number 2, we're actually in 3/4. How many of you noticed that? Yeah, so in this one, we're not going to count up to 4. We're going to count up to 3. So this one is going to go like this: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, the last one, number 3, we're back to 4/4, and it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if you got those right, very, very well done. If you struggled with those, don't worry at all. Maybe go through the video again and give it another go. If you skipped the exercises entirely, you do have to like and subscribe to my channel. You know, that's just penance for skipping the exercises. I think it's fair. All right, anyway, well done for giving it a go any which way, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.